On this video, I'm going to continue reading from Ralph Waldo Emerson's essays written in the 1800s. I'm currently on page 775 in the actual book and 758 on the PDF pages. There are parts of this book which are deep and complicated, and there are parts which are simple and easy to understand, and there are other parts which are about spirituality and self-empowerment. So it's a very rich book. I'm almost finished reading it, which is great. Really excited. We're almost done. We did start from the actual beginning because the beginning of the book was more about Ralph Waldo Emerson's life, and it wasn't actually written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. That's why I skipped it. We start around, I think we start around about page 40 or 50. But in any case, we're almost up to page 909. We're not far off page 909. We shall continue. Before I continue, please do subscribe if you haven't already. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me as I read this amazing book with great insights, great ideas, great tips for life. Recently I saw a little memo from, I guess it was a news outlet or something. Donald Trump was trying to somehow compare himself to Ralph Waldo Emerson, which I found to be quite funny. In any case, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment. Feel free to do so, and please press like or dislike. I appreciate it very much. We're gonna sing the poems I like to sing. It just makes it easier for me. It goes smoother that way. Okay. Though thou loved her as thyself, as a self pure clay, though her parting dims the day, stealing grace from all alive, heartily know, when half gods go, the gods arrive. Threnody. South wind brings life, sunshine, and desire, and on every mountain meadow breathes aromatic fire. But over the dead he has no power. I'll try to improve my voice style. The lost he cannot restore, but over the dead he has no power. And looking over the hills, I mourn the darling who shall not return. I see my empty house, I see my trees repair their boughs, and he, the wanderer's child, whose silver warble wild outvalued every pulsing sound within the ears curling round the high cat and thin boy for whom mourn well by break and April bloom, the gracious boy who did adorn the world whereinto he was born, and by his countenance repay the favor of the loving day, has disappeared from the day's eye. Far and wide she cannot find him, my hopes pursue, they cannot bind him. Return this day, the south wind searches and finds young pines and budding birches, but finds not the budding man. Nature laws cannot remake him, fate let him fall, fate can't retake him. Nature, fate, men him seek in vain. And whither now, my truant, wise and sweet? Oh, whither tend thy feet? I had the right few days ago, thy steps to watch, thy place to know. How have I forfeited the right? Hast thou forgot me in new delight? I hearken for thy household cheer, O eloquent child, whose voice an equal messenger, conveying conveyed thy meaning mild, what thou the pains and joys whereof it spoke were toys now. Fitting as age and can. Forgive me if I'm off key here. I do apologize. I'm just trying my best to put this in a sensible way. Fitting as age and can, yet fierce dames and bearded men, who heard the sweet request of gentle, wise, and grey, bend with joy to his behest, and let the world's affairs go by a while to share his cordial gain, or mend his wicker wagon frame. Still plotting how their hungry ear that winsome voice again might hear, for his lips could well pronounce words that were persuasions. Gentlest guardians mock serene, his early hope, his liberal mien, took counsel from his guiding eyes to make this wisdom earthly wise. Vainly do these eyes recall the school march each day's festival, when every morn my bosom glowed to watch a convoy on the road, the babe in willow wagon closed, with rolling eyes and face composed, with children forward and behind, like puppets studiously inclined, and the chieftain bars paced beside the center of the troop ally, with sunny face of sweet repose, the guard to guard the bay from fancied foes. The little captain innocent took the eye with him as he went, each village senior passed to scan and speak the lovely caravan. From the window I look out to mark thy beautiful parade, stately marching in cap and coat, the sun tuned by fairies played, a music heard by thee alone, to works as noble led thee on. Now love and pride, alas, in vain up and down their glances strain. The painted sled stands where it stood, the candle by the corded wood, his gathered sticks to stanch the wall of the snow tower when snow should fall. The ominous hole he dug in the sand, and childhood's castles built or planned. His daily haunts I will discern, the poultry yard, the shed, the barn, and every inch of garden ground, paced by the blessed feet around. From the roadside the brook whereunto we love to look, step the meek fowls where erst they ranged, the wintry garden lies unchanged, the brook into the stream runs, but the deep-eyed boy is gone. On that shaded day, dark with more clouds than tempests are, without its yield thy innocent breath, and bird-like havings into death. Night came and nature had not thee. Okay, I'm not doing that well with singing, so I'm just going to read it. I said, but I have to. I'm sorry, I just want to do my best to put this smoothly. I said we are mates in misery. The morrow dawned with needles' glow. Each snowbird chirped, each fowl must crow. Each tramper started, but the feet of the most beautiful and sweet of human youth and had left the hill, and gardened they were bound and still. There's not a sparrow or a wren, there's not a blade of autumn grain, With the four seasons do not tend, and tides of life and increase lend, and every chick of every bird, and weed and rock moss is preferred. O ostrich, like forgetfulness, O loss of larger and the less. Was there no star that could be sent? Now watcher in the firmament, no angel from the countless host that loiters round the crystal coast, could stoop to heal that only child, nature's sweet marvel unfiled, un- nature's sweet marvel undefiled, and keep the blossom of the earth, which all her harvests were not worth, not mine, and never call them mine, but nature's higher if I repine, and seeing Rashi torn and moved, not what I made, but what I loved. Grow early old with grief that I'm gonna sing it, I think it goes better. Grow early old with grief that thou must to the wastes of nature go. It is because a general hope was quenched, and he must doubt and grope. For flattening planets seem to say this child should ills of ages stay. By wondrous tongue and guided pen, bring the flow of muses back to men. Punch its naughty, but nature ailed the world, and not the infant failed. It was not ripe yet to sustain a genius of so fine a strain, who gazed upon the sun and moon as if he came unto his own, and pregnant with his grander thought, brought the old order in doubt. His beauty once their beauty tried, they could not feed him, and he died, and wandered back as in scorn, to wait an eon to be born. All day which made his beauty waste, ply broken, the high face defaced. Some went and came about the dead, and some in books of soulless read. Some to their friends the tidings say, some went to write, some went to pray. One tarried here, there, hurried one, but their heart abode with none. Covetous death bereaved us all, to aggrandize one funeral. The eager fate which carried thee took the largest part of me. For this losing is true dying. This is lowly man's down lying. This is slow but sure reclining. Star by star his world resigning. O child of paradise, boy who made dearest father's home, in whose deep eyes men read the welfare of the times to come. I'm too much bereft, the world is honored, thou hast left. O truths and nature's costly lie. O trusted broken prophecy. O riches fortune sourly crossed. Born for the future, to the future lost. The deep heart answered, weepest thou? Were the coils for passion wild, if I had not taken the child? And deemest thou as those who pour, with aged eyes short way before, think his beauty vanished from the coast of matter, and thy darling lost? Of matter and thy darling lost? Taught he not thee, the man of eld, whose eyes within his eyes beheld heaven's numerous hierarchies span, the mystic gulf from God to man? To be alone wilt thou begin, when words of lovers hem thee in? Tomorrow when the mask shall fall, that is nature's carnival, the pure shall see by their own will, which overflowing love shall fill. It is not within the force of fate, the fate conjoined to separate. But thou, my votary, weepest thou. I gave thee sight, where is it now? I taught thy heart beyond the reach of ritual Bible or of speech. Wrote in thy mind's transparent table, as far as the incommunicable, communicable. taught the taught thee each private sign to raise, lit by the super solar blaze, past utterance and past belief, and past the blasphemy of grief, the mysteries of nature's heart, and thou on muse can these impart, throb thine with nature's throbbing breast, and all is clear from east to west. I came to thee as to a friend, dearest to thee I did not send. To this but a joyful eye, innocence that matched the sky. Lovely locks, a form of wonder, laughter rise as woodland thunder, that thou mightest entertain apart the richest flowers of all art. And as the great O loving day through smallest chambers take its way, that thou mightest break thy daily bread with prophet, Saviour, and head, that thou mightest cherish for thine own the riches of sweet Mary's Son, boy Rabbi, Israel's paragon, and doubtest thou such guess would in thy hall take up his rest? Would rushing life forget her laws? Fate's glowing and revolution pause. High omens ask diviner guests not to be calm to tediousness, and know my higher gifts unbind the zone that girds the incarnate mind. When the scanty shores are full with thought's perilous whirling pool, when frail nature can no more than the spirit strikes the hour, my servant death with solving right pours finite into infinite. Wilt thou freeze love's tidal flow, whose streams through nature circling go? I'm not doing that well with the singing. I'm gonna stop now. Nail the wild star to its track on the half-climbed zodiac. Light is light, which radiates. Blood is blood, which circulates. Life is life, which generates. And many seeming, life is one. Wilt thou transfix and make it none? It once forced to starkly pent, in figure, bone, and lineament. Wilt thou on cold interrogate, talker, the unreplying fate? Nor see the genius of the whole ascendant in the private soul, beckon it when to go and come, self-announcing its hour of doom? Fear this soul's recesses and shrine. Magic built unleashed a season. Magic built to last a season, masterpiece of love benign. Fear that expansive reason, whose omen it is and sign. Wilt thou not open thy heart to know what rainbows teach and sunsets show? Verdict which accumulates from lengthening skull of human fate. Voice of earth to each returned, prayers of saints that inly burned, saying, what is excellence? As God lives is permanent. Hearts art dust. Hearts loves remain. Heart's love will meet thee gain. Revere the Maker, fetch thine eye up to his style and manners of the sky. Not of adamant and gold built he heaven stark and cold. No, but a nest of bending reeds, flowering grass and scented weeds. Or like a traveler travels fleeting tent, or bough above the tempest bent, built of tears and sacred flames, and virtue reaching to its aims, built of furtherance and pursuing, not of spent deeds but of doing. Silent rushes the swift Lord, through ruined systems still restored, broad sowing, bleak and void to bless, plants with worlds the wilderness, waters with tears of ancient sorrow, apples of Eden ripe tomorrow. House and tenant go to ground, lost in God, and God had found, conquered him, sunk at the completion of the battle, Monument July 4th, 1837, by the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze and unfurled. Here once the embattled farmers stood and fired a shot round the world. The foe long silence and silence slept, alike the conqueror silent sleeps, and time the ruined bridge has swept down the dark stream with seaward creeps. On this green bank by this soft stream we set today a votive stone, that memory may their deed redeem. One like our sirens, our sons are gone, spirit that made those heroes dare to die and leave their children free. Bid time and nature gently spare the shaft we raise to them and thee. Daughter of heaven and earth, coy spring, with sudden passion languishing, teaching barren mortals to smile, painting pictures mile on mile. Holds a cup with cowslip breaths, whence a smokeless incense breathes. The air is full of whistlings bland. What was that I heard out of the hazy land? Harp of the wind or song of bird, or vagrant booming of the air, voice of a meteor lost in the day. Such tidings of the starry sphere can this elastic ear convey? Or happy it was that cannonade of the pent and darkened lake, cooled by the pendant mountain shade, whose deeps till beams of noonday break, afflicted moan and latest hold, even into May the iceberg cold. Was it a squirrel's pettish bonk, or a clarinet of jay or honk? Were you wedged like the Nestor leads, steering north with raucous cry, through tracks and provinces of sky? Every night alighting down in new landscapes of romance, with darkened feet of clamorous clans, by lonely lakes to men unknown, came the tumult whence it will, voice of sport, a rush of wings. It is a sound that is spoken, that the marble sleep is broken, and a change is passed on things. When late I walked in earlier days, all was stiff and stark. Knee-deep snows choked all the ways. In the sky, no spark. Firm braced, I saw my ancient woods struggling through the drifted roads. The wide desert knew me not. Snow ridges masked each darling spot. The summer dells by genius haunted. One arctic moon has disenchanted all the sweet secrets therein hid, by fancy ghastly spells undid. Eldest mason frost had piled swift cathedrals in the wild. The piney host was sheathed ghosts, in the starlit minster isled. I found no joy the icy wind might rule the forest to his mind. Who would freeze on frozen lakes, back to books and sheltered home, and wood fire flickering on the wall, to hear when mid our talk and games, without the baffled north wind calls? But soft a sultry morning breaks, the ground pines wash the rusty green, the maple tops the crimson tint. On the swift path each track is seen, the girl's foot leaves its needle print. The pebble loosened from the frost ask of the urchin to be tossed, and flint and marble beats a heart. The kind earth takes her children's part. The green lane is a schoolboy's friend. Low leaves his quarrel apprehend. The fresh ground loves his top and bowl. The earrings jocund to his call. The brimming brook invites a leap. He dives the hollow, climbs the steep. The youth sees omens where he goes, and speaks all languages the rose. The wood fly mocks with tiny voice, the far halo of human voice. The perfumed berry on the spray smacks of faint memories far away. A subtle chain of countless rings, the next into the farther springs. And striving to be man, the warm mounts through all the spires of form. The caged linnet in the spring, harnessed from choral glee, when his fellows on the wing migrate from the southern sea. When trellised grapes the flowers amask, and the newborn tendrils twine, the old wine darkling in the cask feels the bloom on the living vine, and bursts the hoops at hint of spring. And so, perchance in Adam's race of Eden's power, some dreamlike trace, survived the flight and swam the flood, and wakes to wish in youngest blood to tread the forfeit paradise, and feed once more the exile's eyes. And ever when the happy child it may behold the blooming wild, and hears in heaven the bluebird sing, onward he cries, the baskets bring. And the next field is e'er more mild, and over yon hazy crest in Eden's balmier spring, not for a regiment parade, nor evil laws or rulers made. Blue Waldo rolls its cannonade, but for a lofty sign, which the zodiac threw, that the bondage days are told, and water free as winds shall flow. Lo, how all the tribes combine to rout the flying foe. See every patriot oakly throws his elfin length upon the snows, not idle since the leaf all day draws to the spot the solar ray. Ere sunset's quarring inches down, and halfway to the moss is brown, while the grass beneath the rime has hints of the propitious time, and up it pries and perforates through the cold slab 1,000 gates, till green lenses peering through bend they happy in the welkin blue, as we thaw frozen flesh with snow. So spring will not her time forerun, mix pole night with tropic glow, nor cloy us with unshaded sun, nor wanton skip with Bacchic dance, but she has the temperance of the gods whereof she is one. Make a treasury of heat, under east winds cross with sleet, plants and birds and humble creatures, well accept her rule, austere. Titim born to hardy natures, cold is genial and dear, as southern wrath to northern right is but straw to anthracite, as in the day of sacrifice, when heroes pile the pyre. The dismal Massachusetts ice burnt more than others fire. So spring guards with surface cold the garnered heat of ages old. Hers to sow the seed of bread, that man and all the kinds be fed. And when the sunlight fills the hours, dissolve across displays the flowers. Beneath the calm, within the light, a hid unruly appetite of swifter life, a surer hope strains every sense to a larger scope, impatient to anticipate the halting steps of aged fate. Slow grows the palm to slow the pearl, when nature falters fain with zeal, grasp the fellows of her wheel, and grasping give the orbs another whirl. Turn swift around, O tardy ball, and sun this frozen side, bring hither back the robin's call, bring back the tulip's bride. Why chidest thou the tardy spring, the hardy bounding does not chide. The blackbirds make the maples ring, social cheer and jubilee. The red-winged flutes with his O-Kali. The robins know the melting snow, the sparrow meek, prophetic-eyed, her nest beside the snowdrift weaves, secure the osier yet will hide. Her callow brood is mantling leaves, her callow brood in mantling leaves, and thou by science all undone. Why only must thy reason fail to see the southing of the sun? The world rolls round, mistrusts it not, befalls again and once before. All things return but sphere and mote, and I shall hear my bluebird's note, and dream the dream of auburn dell, April cold with dropping rain. Willows and lilacs bring again the whistle of returning birds, the trumpet lowing of the herds. The scarlet maple keys betray what potent blood hath modest May. What fiery force the earth renews, the wealth of forms the flush of whose. What joy in rosy waves outpoured floats from the heart of love, the Lord. Hither rolls the storm of heat. I feel its finer billows beat, like a sea which me enfolds, heat with viewless fingers molds, swells and mellows and matures, paints and flavors and allures, bird and briar inly warms, still enriches and transforms, gives the reed and lily length, adds to oak and oxen strength, transforming what it doth enfold, life out of death, new out of old, painted fawns and leopards' fells, sees the gulf in crimsoning shells, fires gardens with a joyful blaze of tulips in the morning's rays. The dead log touch bursts into leaf. The wheat blade whispers of the sheaf. What god is this imperial heat? Earth's prime secret, sculpture's seat. Doth it bear hidden in its heart waterline patterns of all art? It is Daedalus. It is Daedalus? Is it love? Or walks in mask almighty Jove? And drops from power's redundant horn all seeds of beauty to be born. Where shall we keep the holiday and duly greet the entering May? Too straight and low our cottage doors, and all unmeet our copper floors. No spacious court nor monarch's hall suffice to hold the festival up and away, with haughty woods from the liberty floods. We will climb the broad jagged hills, hear the uproar of their joy. We will mark the leaps and gleams of the new delivered streams, and the murmuring rivers of sap melt in the pipes of the trees. Giddy with day to the topmost spire, which for a spike of tender green battered its powdery cap, and the colours of joy in the bird, and the love in its carol heard. Frog and lizard in holiday coats, and turtle brave in his golden spots, while cheerful cries of crag and plain reply to the thunder of river and main, as pour the flood of the ancient sea, spilling over mountain chains, bending forests as bends the sedge, faster flowing over the plains, a world-wide wave with its foaming edge. This is Mayday. That rhymes the running silver sheet, so pours the deluge of the heat, broad northward over the land, painting artless paradises, drudging herbs with Syrian spices, fanning secret fires with glow, and Columbine and clever blow, climbing the northern zones where 1,000 pallid towns lie like cockles by the main, or tented armies on a plain. The million-handed sculptor molds quaint as bud and blossom folds. The million-handed painter pours opal hues and purple dye. Azaleas flush the island floors, and the tints of heaven reply. Wreaths for May,
for happy spring. Today shall all her dowry bring. The love of kind, the joy of the grace, the harmony of element and race, knowing well to celebrate with song and hue and star and state. With tender light and youthful cheer, the spouses of the newborn year. Spring is strong and virtuous, broad sowing and cheerful plenteous. Quickening underneath the mould, grains beyond the price of gold, so deep and large her bounties are, that one broad long midsummer day shall do the planet overpay. The ravage of a year of war, drug the cup, thou butler sweet, and send the nectar round. The feet that slid so long on sleet are glad to feel the ground. Fill and saturate each kind with good according to its mind. Fill each kind and saturate with good agreeing with its fate and soft perfection of its plan. Willow and violet, maiden and man. The bittersweet, the haunting ear, creepeth, bloweth everywhere. It preys on all prey on it. Blooms in beauty, thinks in wit, stings the strong with enterprise, makes travellers long for Indian skies, and where comes this courier fleet, finds in all hearts expectant sweet, as if tomorrow should redeem the vanished rose of evening dream. By houses lies a fresh green of men and maids a rudier million, as if time brought a new relay of shining virgins of every May. And summer came to ripen maids to a beauty that not fades. I saw the bud crowning spring go forth, stepping daily outward north, to greet staid ancient cavaliers, filling single and stately train. And who are the travellers? They were night and day and night, pilgrims white with step forthright. I saw the days deformed and low, short and bent by cold and snow. The merry spring threw wreaths on them, flower wreaths gay with bud and bell. Many a flower, many a gem. They were refreshed by the smell. They shook the snow from hats and shone. They put their April raiment on, and those eternal forms, unhurt by a thousand storms, shot up to the height of the sky again, and danced as merrily as young men. I saw them mask their awful glance, sidewise, meek in gossamer lids, and to speak my thought if none forbids. It was as if the eternal gods, tired of their starry periods, hid their majesty in cloth, woven of tulips and painted moth, on carpets green and maskers march, below May's well-appointed arch, each star, each god, each grace amain, every joy and virtue speed, marching duly in her train, and fainting nature at her need, is made whole again. It was the vintage day of field and wood, when magic wine for bards imbrued, every tree and stem and chink gush with syrup to the brink. The ear stole into the streets of towns, refreshed the wise, reformed the clowns, and betrayed the fund of joy to the high school and middle boy. And from hall to chamber ran, from youth to maid, from boy to man, to babes and to old eyes as well. Once man, the old man cried, ye clouds, eerie truths, purple piled, which once my infancy beguiled, beguile me with the wonted spell. I know ye skilful to convoy the total freight of hope and joy into rude and homely nooks, shed mocking lustres on shelf of books, on farmer's byre and pasture rude, on stony pathway to the wood. I care not if the pumps you show be what thy soothfast appear, or if yon realms in sunset glow. He bubbles of the atmosphere, and if it be to you allowed to fool me with a shiny cloud, so only new griefs are consoled by new delights as old by old. Frankly, I will be your guest, count your change, you cheer the best. The world hath overmuch of pain. If nature give me joy again, if such a seat, I'll not complain. Ah, well, I mind the calendar, faithful through 1,000 years, of the painted race of flowers, exact today's exact to hours, counted on the spacious dial, yon broidered zodiac girds. I know the trusty almanac of the punctual coming back, on the due days of the birds. I mocked them yester morn, a flock of finches darting beneath the crystal arch, panting as they flew a march. be like the one they used in parting last year from yon oak or larch. Dusky sparrows in a crowd, diving, darting northward free. Suddenly we took them all, everyone to his hole in the wall, or to his niche in the apple tree. I greet with joy the chortle trains, fresh from palms and cubus canes, best gems of nature's cabinet, with dews of tropic morning wet, beloved of children boards in spring. O birds, your perfect virtues bring, your song, your forms, your rhythmic flight, your masses, your manners for the heights delight. Nestle in hedge of barn or roof, hence weave your chamber, weatherproof. Forgive our harms and condescend to man as to a lube friend. And generous teach his awkward race, courage and probity and grace. Poets praise that hidden wine, hid in milk we do, at the barrier of time, when our life was new. We had eaten fiery fruit. We were quick from head to foot. All the forms we looked unshown, as with diamond dews their own. What cared we most for costly joys? Oh, my apologies for that. Bear with me.